Hey everybody, it's Jenn with Lady Tarot 911. Hey, happy Sunday. So we are wrapping up April, and as of April 26th, we shifted into Gemini. Uranus moved into Gemini, and that sparked like a big change in how we think and communicate, and also how we connect. And so you could be feeling like, I don't know, curious. There's going to be mental breakthroughs that you might have to kind of do something outside of the box, push beyond, comfort zones, and communication with others will, become clearer and evolve. There'll be more communication. It'll kind of feel like a nudge to take action on new ideas, especially in relationships and daily life, and communicate about these things as well. So that is what we shifted into, and that's ending April. Give me 1 second. So this Friday, May 1st, is the full moon in Scorpio, where this is really about taking all that April energy and basically getting down to work and pushing on through with whatever you had started in April. So I wanted to do a May read and kind of get us prepared for that and see what the collective energy will be with that energy that will be rolling in with that full moon in Scorpio. Okay, so let's look at for the collective what is going to be happening coming up on May 1st, Friday. Gosh, can you believe it's May already? Okay, so this one flew out. Yeah, okay, spiritual cleansing, which is about change, new perspectives, right? The sparking new ways of how we're thinking, right? With that, now the Uranus into Gemini energy is actually going to be around for the next 7 years. So it's going to be a slow go, but it's awakening, slow awakenings, spiritual awakenings, sparking changes, transformations, shifts in how we think about things, how we perceive ourselves, how we perceive others. Speaking of others, okay, so connected because of the purple, jealousy, connected because of the yellow, interesting. So as you go through this time period where you will be essentially, again, let me rephrase, because I did not know this as I started going through my journey and as I started to awaken, but I was almost thinking that spirituality was replacing religion. It is not religion. Spirituality is about self. It's no different than DIYs of any kind to better yourself, to help yourself grow. This is about change within yourself, inside, right? Not anything outside, not environment. All those things do play into the effects and influences. This is about the internal change that's happening with this Uranus and Gemini, and then this action that you thought about or that came about or that awoke in you. It could be about your relationships or money or time you're spending on things or the way you look at things or the behaviors, toxic patterns, cycles you've gone through, whatever. This is changing within you, and that's what's opening this intuition and this third eye. Now, as that happens, others from the past will see this is how this connects. Others will see this, and there will be potentially the possibility of this jealousy where others will see your growth. And if they're not growing at the same rate, it's kind of like when you think about going back to when you were a kid and how you always, people would ask you how old you are, and it was like, oh, I'm 9.5, right? Because you always wanted to be bigger. You always wanted to be older. You always wanted to be doing what the big kids were doing because they were growing and you were still 9.5, even though you were growing, and some little 8-year-old was looking at you like, I want to be 9.5. It still is almost like the grass is greener on the other side, which that's interesting that comes up with this like yellowish greenish color. But there's a possibility, a good possibility, that if people start behaving strangely in your energy, it could be very much tied to the fact that energetically they see your growth, or they can see the change in you. It could be a glow up. It could be physical. It doesn't have to be something that's 3D tangible. It could be the fact that you just act different, you talk different, you seem different. And this will cause people to hold on, people to become possessive, territorial. It will also, because they don't want change. If they're used to you or set in a certain way that you are in their environment, they don't want that to change if it's working, right? Now, what's interesting is we've got a 5 for change. Fives are about change and challenges, and we've also got a 5. This spiritual awakenings are not easy from the get-go. There can be change within you, but then also change within others, and others seeing you change and grow and awaken, and the feelings that putting them in there feels. For them, they're going to feel you have changed, but then the shift within them, you're going to also feel and look at them as if they have changed. Now, again, the way that I relate this, especially like when I try and teach it to my kids, is that it's that level that you're on when you're doing patterns and you're doing cycles and you come around to where Saturn tests you and there's your trials and have you learned the lessons, blah, blah, blah. If you're growing, you're ascending. So you're going up, right? You're going up this way, okay? as you go up the vibration level that you are on with somebody else, if they're not going up, they're going to be repeating patterns if they haven't learned anything, because usually this is a lower vibrational energy, which usually means that they have more learning to do so that these feelings won't arise. They'll have enough, I guess, inner confidence within themselves. Sorry, it might get a little loud. Nala just pushed her way in from the balcony, and so the door's open. So sorry about that. If the background gets a little noisy, I'll just get up and shut the door if it does. But this lower vibrational energy wouldn't necessarily come about unless it was needed to change somebody and change the way that somebody feels about themselves. Because when you feel really good about yourselves, shifts and growth that people make don't affect you. So, or you're happy for them. You want to see people grow and become better and do better and have better for themselves. You're not jealous of that. Jealousy just means wanting what somebody else has or what they see is happening to them. Well, since this is a lower vibrational energy, it's lower on the ascension level, right? And as that happens, as you move up, you're not in alignment vibrationally with those people anymore, which means that's when you notice that they start to leave your life, or you don't talk to them as much, or they just simply fade away, or people are just, blocked maybe intentionally out of people's lives. And it's just because they're no longer in alignment. You can't talk about the same things. You don't see things the same. You don't feel the same about things. And obviously wanting to grow yourself and somebody being more focused on outward events happening with somebody else versus focusing on themselves. You can see this eye is focused on, and it really is, it's interesting if you can see those. This eye here is very forward focused, right? This one is really, when you look at it, this is to the right for me, looking at this person growing. Isn't that interesting? That's fascinating. So when somebody's more focused on somebody else and not on themselves, they're at a lower vibration. They're more concerned about attention, money, what they can get, how they can benefit from somebody else. And if that's changing, that creates feelings of discontentness. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm saying it is right now. So now this also could be because of the raise in your vibration and your ascension opens doors and opportunities, which we've talked about, which brings in good fortune. This could be within feelings, the water, right? In emotions, changes in emotion, more love for yourself, more love for others, better relationships. This could also be in just with the growth, there's less struggles or trials. There's more opportunities, more doors. That could be in money. It could be definitely in stability. 13 is a 4, which 4 is about stability and stableness. It could be in home. It could be with a job, in all sorts of means. But this is saying that through ascension, which we're always told when you ascend, more doors of opportunity, a higher bird's eye view of things that are happening so that you get a better chance of making the right decision, going on the right path, those kinds of things. And this jealousy is seeing that this growth is causing better fortune, or will be in May. May looks to be a very transformational, which Scorpio, the full moon of Scorpio on May 1st, Scorpio is all about transformation. Well, the transformation is happening here. Others who are not transforming, are not choosing to do the work, or not awakening because they have more lessons to learn, or cycles to go through, they're seeing this and they're becoming jealous of this because of the fact that it could be money, it could be somebody gets a better job, gets paid more, gets a promotion, some type of abundance, prosperity is increasing through this. And I know that it's this because here are 3 drops. These are connected as well. So these 2 are connected, these 2 are connected, and these 2 are connected. And these 2 are connected too. So everything's connected. All of this is playing out, and it's transforming everybody that's involved in one way or the other. Okay, so let's take a look at traditional tarot. Let's pull some, actually no, I want to pull some Egyptian visions. I have been using this deck lately. I love it. It's from Maru. So let's see what this spiritual cleansing, what this is about. Give me more information about this and what this jealousy is, who this is, who these people are. I mean, I bet if you're connected to this read, which if you're here, I always say you manifested me to give you this read. So you've been wondering what's going to be happening in May if you haven't heard already. And you wanted to know kind of what's going to be taking place in your energy around you, in your environment. I have had I don't even know how to explain it. Probably the second biggest awakening that has brought to me one of the biggest enlightenments about myself. One of probably just absolutely life-changing, transformational, huge. Probably the second most influential. It has rocked me to the core of who I am, and also transformed me to how I am now on a very interesting, different path that I never thought I would be on. So I can attest to this energy. I've said before that I think that sometimes readers, or I know for me for sure, I go through this energy. It's almost like I go through this energy, and this could be you as well. Maybe you've already gone through this, and if you have, you're in the same boat where I tend to go through this energy before it happens. So my timeline is a little prior to what I read about, so that I can inject, I guess, some perspectives and some things that have happened to me that you might experience if you're on this timeline exactly. I am probably in this timeline, if we were to look at it like, you know, if you could choose where you were on this timeline at this point right now, if you've been feeling challenges with others, there's been people who have started to change and act strange towards you, or you've started to, like, I just went through this part right here. This had come absolutely before this came, but this opened up and transformed something in me it's somewhat related, but this was the catalyst to this for me. And right now I'm right about here. So if you are in that same boat, I'm reading for timelines that maybe are back here, because I can give perspective on this stuff that's happened back here. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's see. So this one flipped over first. That's going to be our core energy. Oh, divine feminine. Okay, spiritual awakening. So this could be you as my viewer of just that define. Okay, let's look at that for a second. Defining for you what that means to you, but this also could be defining for somebody else as they're awakening and changing and within themselves, healing things, changing things within themselves. They're noticing maybe potentially you as the divine feminine, or you are the divine feminine, the role that you have been playing in their life, how connecting the dots of their own feminine energy, which is that more emotional energy, but also for you, the same thing, where your feminine energy lies. Now, defining, going back to what I misspoke, I think, so this part of spiritual cleansing is the defining, or there's a defining moment that is going to be very, because we're in Uranus, which Uranus is like the shocking awakening type of energy. There's an awakening to either emotions within somebody, or divine feminine energy that's around somebody, or that somebody is the divine feminine, or within yourself of what feminine energy means to you. So that could be what this awakening is about in regards to, or maybe even handling things as like Empress energy, this divine feminine energy, or women in your life, maybe mother energy in your life, the roles that they've played, how they fit, how they don't. This could be a jealous, because she's looking this way, this could be a jealous feminine energy, jealous of the spiritual awakening of maybe somebody that you're connected to, or this could be you, if you've been noticing feminine energies around you that have been holding on tighter, saying what they need to say, even with lies or dirty offers, or pretending, or doing too much, maybe chasing too much, holding on too much, not wanting change because they can feel this energy of yours that's slipping. And it's slipping because it's ascending and awakening to new truths, new ideas, thinking outside the box, things that that have always been shut down and sleeping on. But now are awakening in this energy, which is happening to the collective of people. Yeah, new birth, creation is Empress energy, right? Creating something new. These two are connected, the colors. So this is some type of creation is also causing a jealousy, a creation, a new birth of who you are. This could be, I mean, on more of a 3D level, this could be, I don't really feel like this is like a pregnancy or a birth of any type of like child, like 3D. I feel it's more of coming full circle, the moon energy of what's been hidden, using intuition to actually, because everything's connected. All these little pieces are connected here. And the creation, the changing, the transforming of this energy, if this is you, or this could be your person, is causing this jealousy as maybe emotions change, or as somebody is maybe, I just really feel like slipping away. Oh, whoa. That is so interesting. Look at, she's got this like beetle on her necklace, and the beetle here. So these two are connected. I mean, there's something about connection. Okay. The collective energy is shifting, or started on the 26th, like I mentioned, from Uranus to Gemini. Sparking change, right? Is what I said. Sparking change in how we think, communicate, and connect. There's something about connection which makes me think that there's a slipping of connection between people. People are slipping away, relationships are slipping away, or people feel like people are slipping away from their energy, or energies are changing and ascending so much that somebody can feel this. There's somebody in your person's energy, or your person with you, that's really jealous of the growth or the emotions that maybe somebody is starting to feel for you, or towards you, or towards this feminine energy. And so here's the priestess of light I've talked about. So the high priestess, or this priestess energy, the light, is the awakening. Your light, if you are the viewer and this resonates with you and not your person who might be going through this change, but you both might as well, you're bringing like this magnetism as you or your person are changing that you're here for. It creates, and that's why it's moving to the future of the light, of this brighter color, of this sun, is because your magnetism, what you're magnetizing to you is okay, new word we're putting in the log. I almost said manifestations, not manifestations. Meta. So meta is meta. Let me think here. So metamorphosis. So changing of a creative work, referring to itself. Yeah, I was going to say self. So meta, self, referring to itself, the change of yourself. And that's where I was getting that from. Metamorphosis, right? Metamorphosis. Manifestations. So manifesting for yourself is what this is bringing in. So things that you've so like referring to yourself, or it's like a review, a refinement, a define. Okay, so going back to the word define that I used, a defining of yourself. This is you that is becoming more magnetizing of what you have wanted, things that will advance you, things that you have dreamed about, your childhood. This has a lot to do with self. This is like manifestations for yourself. I think that should be a word, manifestations. So last card, play. Enjoying what one is doing, having fun and feeling good, higher vibration. Did we not talk about the fact that this is a higher vibrational energy? As higher vibrational energies manifest more, quicker, easier, more defined, precise. Manifestations happen more for those in a higher vibration because they are entrusted to be able to handle those manifestations and work with them and learn from them and produce for the collective in a positive way. So this is saying that the energy that's going to be at play, yes, might be death and transforming, but it's really important to look at and to give you an idea of kind of what I've been doing during this huge transformation for myself is I have taken a lot of time out and sat in the quiet. I have done a lot of reflection. I've done reading. I have studied. I have gone out with family for certain events that have taken place. I've reached out and talked to other people. I have really done a reflective period that this energy has really kind of pushed me into. But I've also lightened up and had more of a whatever happens, happens. Like wherever I'm taken, whatever I need to do, I'll do. I'm not going to worry about it because it's all going to work out. And I will tell you, from the worst of it being right around here, the worst of it for me, brought a lot of doubt. And I can testify to you, I can manifest this in for you, the fact that you will see everything fall into place better than the way that I aligned it in my head was the way that the universe is actually playing it out. I couldn't have planned it better than actually what's happening. So I just want you to know that. Okay, so these fell on the floor. And I know that the same thing will happen to you. And you will recognize that and you will look at that and reflect on that. When you get out of it, it's hard to see things when we're in it. But when you get out of it and you look back, you're going to be like, how the hell did I get through that? How did that happen? Where did that puzzle piece come from? How did those two things align? How did that click into place? I promise you that is, you're gonna be looking back like, okay, I'm grateful for that lesson, or I'm grateful that happened, or gosh, I'm glad I didn't go that way and I listened to my intuition. That's the big thing about this, and this is why this is Sinner. Regardless of this happening in the past, regardless of this coming, regardless of what is taking place, what's most important is to stay present. Keep your energy clean to where you stay present and you are aligned with the now moment, the exact moment, because that is what brings in those perfect puzzle pieces and that perfect alignment and those perfect manifestations happening quicker and quicker for yourself. And then, I mean, and it's just all connected. It's the eighth, it's the self, right? It's the infinity. When that happens, then what happens out of that is then you get more learning, you become more awakened, and it's just constantly, they feed off of each other. And that is the ascension process, right? And how we get better, do better, see better, find better, life becomes more exciting and more rewards, more opportunities. Yes, it is, for lack of better words, fucking hard work, hard work. And it's a lot of tears and a lot of anguish and a lot of pain and a lot of going through birth is the same thing. Having a baby, birthing something new within yourself is going to be difficult, but it's not worth it. It is, okay, and that was total double negative. It is so worth it. Double negative. What do we need to know about that? Why would I bring that? Double negative. Double negative. I don't know. Something about a double negative. Okay, so give me these. These are the ones that fell out. Oh yeah, okay, so this is bringing justice. This is your justice. This is bringing the justice. Or there could be something about there being, oh, double negative. This could be about a partnership, some type of partnership. Because this is good fortune, this could be about somebody in a better, like I mentioned, better job, somebody getting a new partner, whether that be in love or in finances or in business, birthing a new project with somebody new. There being favor in the Libran energy. This is Libra. We talked about Scorpio energy. This is the Libran energy of balance, balancing out feminine and masculine, balancing out relationships, balancing out partnerships, balancing out your finances. From some type of misthinking, misjudgment, or judgment place, some type of obsessing over something, obsession about moving on. Somebody's jealous about and obsessing about somebody moving on, moving forward, or somebody has been obsessed about doing. Here's the magician. Look at this, you guys. Oh my gosh. You guys, that's 4 major arcanas. Can you see that one? 4 major arcanas. Taking the power back within yourself, learning to be your own magician, making sure that you have everything within you to make shit happen, to make things come to you. All of the stuff that's been happening to me, I attribute it to the universe, but it's subconsciously and it's not even subconscious. There are things that I have been manifesting, that I have been asking for, and they are coming in a totally different way than I expected. But it is absolutely bringing justice for me, and it's helping me, and it's guiding me. I'm learning a lot. I didn't know if I was going to survive this, like all of you guys probably feel. It's so heavy. It's almost unbearable. But again, go back, and this is going to be the kind of the tail end of this read. Go back to what you know about diamonds and how diamonds are made, and those references to diamonds are put under the greatest amount of pressure. Coal, right? From things that are dark, things that are darker energy, things that are lower vibration, things that are haunting us, things that are infesting us, toxicity, toxin. Coal, right? Coal is taken and refined, refined. Okay, maybe I was supposed to use the word refined under extreme heat. Okay. Heat is about action. Heat is about transformation, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, but it's also about pressure. And that is absolutely what I have felt lately, is heat and pressure going through this. But it is creating this. And you know what? When I laid this down, I looked at, was it this? Oh no, wait, where was it? Where was that? Well, since I looked at this card, I want to use this one too, because this is going to be your advice card with what I saw on it. But I think it was in my own reading. She had a great big jewel on, and it was like it was an emerald. It wasn't a diamond, but it was a gem, and it was beautiful. But that is what the diamonds, diamonds are gorgeous. Diamonds are refined. Diamonds tell stories of what it's been through. And that's what's happening as you are awakening, taking this power back. And it could be about your own stability, even within your own mental or emotional or any type of physical, yes, but it can also be, something more in the metaphysical. That's what I was trying to put meta with. Metaphysical is very much 5D, right? Taking power back in that, and taking all of that energy and information and putting it back into your hands awakens you under that pressure and under the heat of that diamond being refined. It brings you justice because it starts the process of the 8. It's not really starting it because you're always in it, but that the infinity sign, it never ends. Energy, all the energy that's ever been created has already been created, and it can't be created. There can't be any additional energy created, and it can't be destroyed. And so energy is like the 8, it's constant. So under this pressure, you've been going through this awakening by learning things about yourself. Just like I mentioned, I've learned about myself, learning about other people, seeing things different, seeing yourself different. And in the means of doing that, you're bringing to yourself your own justice. You bring everything to you with this magician. You bring, manifest in, or you create, birthing, or you get out of, right? Moving on from everything in your life. You are the creator of everything in your life. There's nothing outside of you that helps you create what you become, who you become. These things on the outside either influence, hinder, or help us. But they don't go through the creation process. A coal is put under pressure, and the change comes within the coal, right? And the diamond. And the same thing for us as humans, as us as souls. We create from the inside out, not from what other people tell us to do or answers from people. So if you're waiting on an answer from somebody, like that's not going to create the change that you want. Yes, it might change your direction, but it's not going to create that lasting justice, that change within you, because you have to learn that everything that you need is actually within you, and you have to create it. You have to create the answers. You have to create the moving away from darker energy. You have to take the power back somehow for your own stability, what's going to be good for you. Going back to the word meta, and I think that that's a good title for this, is meta, and doing it with small steps. So this is under the deck, breaking it down into smaller goals, building the momentum one step at a time. And I've talked about that too, baby steps. That is literally what has happened with me and what I've gone through. It has been, and that's hard for us as humans because we live in such a fast-paced, instant, just like instant manifesting. So it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of reflection and a lot of time to do this, to take little small steps versus just wanting to jump and the energy, the universe is saying slow down, because even if you want to go and attack it, because it's kind of like these opposing energies, the universe is saying to kind of hold back. It reminds me of the chariot, holding back on the reins of horses who want to go. But yeah, we're in this Mars, Aries, in a ton of planets are in Aries, and Aries is about go and do and drive, and Aries, the sign, is very much about getting shit done and the drive about it. And this is Aries energy right here too. So we have Capricornian energy, Libran energy. We also have the Aries energy, the Scorpionic energy. I mentioned Chariot, so that's Cancer energy. Taurus energy, about stability. Could be Virgo too, because Virgo and Capricorn and Taurus are all those stability signs. We have a lot of 4s in this read. Also Pisces and Cancer and Scorpio with this water. What's not in here is getting in your head, a lot of the air energy, which is good, because this is really focused more on balancing the pentacles and the water energy, the emotions. And maybe that's what this is about, and the awakening with this feminine energy, creating stability. Maybe there's been obsession about water sign, fire sign, about emotions, about drive and doing, or about money or love. It could be any of those combinations of things that this obsession has been about, and moving forward in one way or the other, moving forward in a job, moving forward with a relationship, moving forward out of a job or a relationship, or a home, moving out of a home, selling a home. It could be the money coming from a home, or stability, or what is somebody going to do about stability? How is somebody going to become stable? This is really hitting on that Taurian energy. As Uranus comes out of Taurus and goes into Gemini, moving from that stability can be debilitating, can be a little rocky. Stability, homes, stableness, where you live, where you work, location, all of that can be rocked as that energy moves and has to shift and realign. So just know that, and that's the current energy wherever you're at in this. And we didn't talk a lot about outside energy, because this was more about meta. This was more about yourself. And this just kind of is really saying, slow down, lighten up with this play energy, right? Wherever you lie in this, it is transforming for good fortune. It is going in the right direction. You are on the right track. You could be still at more of, or entering into more of this, oh my gosh, things are changing, people are changing, I'm obsessed, I have some toxic patterns, behaviors. Or you could be in this, okay, I'm starting to see things even out, I'm awakening to new ideas, I'm going different directions, I'm choosing different choices. I'm kind of starting on that road here, starting to take things back into my own power, not feel so out of control. Or you could be here where you're actually starting to see things manifest and bring things in for yourself. And this could also be that you're crying tears of joy that things are happening so well you can't believe it. It's almost like it's too good to be true. But don't get into that energy, because that brings you back to more of that toxic energy, that low vibrational energy. But this is awakening you to higher vibration and new ideas and new understandings of yourself and what you can get through, what you have been through, people you've been around, and a new direction that you're going on. This is very much new beginnings focused. And I know that because, again, wrapping around a read, like Steve says, it's a good read if it wraps around. We wrap around to new beginnings. It's a 1 card. It's the very first card in the, sorry, no, it's not. The 0 card, the Fool, taking that leap of faith. That's essentially what this is right here. Taking that leap is kind of almost like a hidden energy, because you are, as you're awakening and transitioning into this transformation. And because it takes a lot of courage to want to do better and be better and actually wake up to who you truly are, or what you truly want, what maybe you haven't had, or maybe who you haven't been, and changing that and it starting you on a new path. So anyways, guys, I hope that helps you. Hope that brings some clarity of maybe where the energy will be at. Again, you could be here now in one of these, even though it's May 1st is about transformation. This is going to be hyped up or sped up a lot when we hit that full moon in Scorpio on Friday on May 1st. So just be aware of that. And I will see you on the next read. You guys have a great Sunday evening. Bye.